Hey, it's Jerry Jones, co-owner, Managed Recruiters Tallahassee, and my other half, Craig McMillan, co-owner, Managed Recruiters Tallahassee. And today's topic is keeping your key players in your organization.
This is a huge topic, guys, for everyone. We are talking to professionals daily, and we're getting some insight on what motivates them to make a change, what motivates them to stay at their current employer. So we wanted to give you some nuggets of information, and we hope it helps. Since the beginning of 2021, almost 4 million professionals have quit their jobs monthly. And companies are struggling to find high quality talent. We call this talent impact players, meaning they are the top 10%, top 5%, whatever it is percent, that moves the needle. We've learned over the years, and I'm sure you have too, that it's the top tier professionals that get the most work done. The simplest way to retain these employees that you have, prevent those from leaving, is to provide a work-life balance and make long-term investments in their careers, in their futures. And one way you can do that is cross-training and professional development. In a survey conducted by PAN, 74% of respondents had career development as their number one objective. This shows that workers want companies that are looking to set promotional goals and provide cross-training. So when a person comes in to your company, you want to think and you want to talk to them about what can they become. So cross-training, professional development is key, Jerry.
Well, cross-training is everything, right? Especially when you have a gap when somebody's not there. You got somebody to back up what you're doing. But also, let's not forget something. Sometimes we all, including myself, we think people are machines and they're not.
Right.
So their health is your wealth. Mm-hmm. And I mean that by a few things. Number one, do all you can to have a fantastic health program for your people. That's just being automatic. Also, that prevents, people leaving you because of benefits. But more importantly, health can mean other things too. Work-life balance, making sure they're not answering the phone 24/7.
Right.
Making sure that they have the time to decompress and spend time with their families. Invest in that. Make sure that they have the time to just get away and have lunch or go home and have dinner with their family instead of feeling like they got to be at the office all the way till whenever. Sometimes things happen, projects come down the line, you got to get it done, we get it. But make sure your top people, or anybody really, has some balance in their work life. If you do that, then you can probably mitigate some exits.
And we've learned, Jerry, that some of the top companies in the world have programs that are centered on and focused on mental health. Mental health is important.
They sure do.
You talked about work-life balance. So, sometimes when that work-life balance gets out of kilter, gets out of balance, then mental health is so important. Employee feedback, guys, is a must. You must sit down, I'm sure you guys are, but you must sit down with your employees and have one-on-one meetings. Understand what they're going through, what challenges they're facing. Talk about work-life balance. Talk about physical and mental health. It's important. Find out how they feel about your systems and processes. I once had a leader in a company. I can't remember exactly if he was a plant manager of one plant. I want to think he was a multi-plant manager, maybe a VP of operations. But he was outstanding. He knew everyone's names in his plants, and he had multiple plants. I remember that. But he knew everyone's names, and when he walked in the plant, he called them by name. Hi, Joe. Hi, Mary. Hi, Susie. He was entrenched in his colleagues, his staff's well-being. He understood them. He knew about their families. So that's so key. Is employee feedback is so key.
One thing about employee feedback, asking for feedback is one thing. Asking for honest feedback is another whole medium. So
Yes.
people have got to feel free to speak freely and speak candidly. If you're not willing to listen to hard criticism, don't do it.
Right.
Because all you're doing is wrecking whatever you have now. But that's something critical that not everybody can do. It's hard, but getting honest feedback and critical feedback is critically important.
Some of the best managers, as Jerry and I know, are managers that will set the tone for honest feedback. They might even say it. Jane, I'm about to sit down with you. You know, I've talked to you about this before, but I want you to give me honest feedback. Let it rip. Let's discuss this and be open with each other. And guys, the last topic in reference to retaining your employees, those impact players we call them, those guys and gals that move the needle at top 5%, top 1%, top 10%, is offer competitive compensation packages. Yes, compensation is very, very important. We want to think one of the most important topics that we cover, if I had to choose one, you guys have heard me say it before, it would be compensation. People want to get compensated for their efforts. Some professionals are just looking to get more compensation, and their reasons or their expectations aren't valid. They aren't fair, quite frankly. So you got to offer competitive salaries. You got to offer long-term incentive plans if you can. We're talking bonuses. We're even talking stock. We're talking 401k plans. And if you're a smaller company, and maybe in your geographical area, you're competing with those larger companies that can offer higher salaries, you can talk with us. And what we've got to do is we've got to set up an intrinsic focus search to find those working in smaller companies that would align with your compensation plans. That's how we get around that. It's almost impossible to recruit from a large, say an OEM that's offering big salaries. So you got to go out and find companies of your size, and we can find professionals that'll fit your salary.
But let's give something here back. Sometimes it's not always the base. You can do ancillary things, simple things. Maybe it's work from home 1 or 2 days a week.
Okay.
Work from home is a biggie right now. Maybe it's a bonus that they don't have today, or a different type of bonus, more incentivized. Make sure that you pay it.
Okay.
Could be another week's vacation. That's incentivization, and that's compensation. It could be some type of an LTI, long-term incentive arrangement. You know, to me, when you're running your operations, you should be doing a force ranking, because you're going to discover that 20% of the key folks are doing 80% of the lift.
I see it.
So you better take care of that 20%. So if it means an extra week's vacation, maybe a better bonus plan for them. If it means work from home 1 day a week or 2 days a week or whatever that number is, if it can be accommodated, you should accommodate it. And that will prevent the pain of going through and trying to replace a key in person.
Right. And Jerry said something very key there I wanted to add to. Long-term incentive plans are very important. I want to assume that most of you have LTIs, long-term incentive plans for your executive staff, your upper-level executive staff. I would encourage you to think about LTIs, long-term incentive plans for your middle and lower colleagues, lower level, mid-level, lower level colleagues. Some of the best companies that we've partnered with are ESOP companies, employee stock owned purchase plans. If they're funded correctly, they last long, they can sustain themselves, and it churns out great productivity. Guys, I hope this information helps. Don't forget, go to mrrecruiter.com, mrrecruiter.com, to learn more about our service offering. And please don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel to be updated when we post these new videos.
See ya.
See ya.